Hi y'all! We're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm pretty sure you've been told about the incentive already, but I just wanted to do one more shout out before we get into this, because I am going to be a little quieter once we actually start this. I have a blindfold here. I'll be doing blindfolded Miss Ruby fight if we reach that incentive, so just let me know if y'all want to see me do that. Alright, I'm about ready to start. Cinder, you ready?
Yeah, I'm all good. I need your game in Discord.
Oh, shoot. Done.
All right, whenever you're ready, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to start unloading this file. And while I start unloading this file, Cinder will explain to you why we load a file rather than hit new game to start this. I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go! Alright, so we start on a 0% file instead of a new game file because we actually have all of the major cutscenes in this game already watched. There's like a weird menu manipulation that you can do where you can watch a cutscene on one file and save it onto a new game file. And nice, what Alice just got there was the mattress proxy. There's a lot of, we're going to be proxying a lot in this game, which is basically just kind of getting Sly's model in like a stuck spot. And depending on your positioning, you can just send him flying. Yeah, if you guys were watching the pre-show this morning, you would have seen a couple clips of that. Just weird movement with Sly.
Yeah, it was originally a dev intended, kind of try to prevent you from soft locking, throwing you out of like weird stuck spots, but speedrunners found a way to abuse it, because of course we did. You're gonna see another little proxy here that's probably a little more apparent as to what I'm actually doing.
Right, yeah, so there's like a little keep out sign here, and if you push Sly into the sign, he can get proxied up out of it. And we do that to skip a cutscene, because if you keep going forward through that little cave, there's a cutscene where Bentley talks to you. There's a lot of us skipping Bentley trying to talk to you. We just don't have time. So what Alice is trying to do here is she's trying to get a boost jump up and out of bounds to skip another section of this level. If you want to explain what boost jumping is?
Sure. As soon as I can get it. I was worried that this trick was going to be a bear as soon as I got into here. I've been having a little bit of problems with this recently on run. Just give me a second.
So it's like you can kind of like pause the game, and then while you're you can swing your cane and pause the game before you hit the ground. And then
there we go.
Yeah, you can get like some kind of like triple jump to get a little bit extra height to get up to places you're not supposed to be able to get to. And then so she's setting up another trick here. So basically she put Sly's position up on that rock, and she's doing a chain of super jumping, which is just swinging the cane before you hit the ground and jumping again so that Sly's position isn't updated. And you get in this stuck spot here, and you bounce off the rock, and it shoots you almost all the way to the end of the level.
Yeah. Super jumps are really odd. Basically, the game, whenever you get stuck, tries to send you back to its last known safe position. But if you swing the cane and jump before the game can update your like last known safe grounded position, then what will happen instead is the game will revert, back to the previous jump or back to the previous jump. So we can abuse that and set where our last known grounded position we want it to be. We're also going to load right here because there is a designated spot in every hub world where if you load in the hub world, it always puts you in the center of it. That center is right there, and that actually skips a cutscene and a little bit of platforming. So loading there allows us to skip some stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And she grabs that charm there because we need it for a trick later on in World 2. So this is a loogie lunge. We basically just jumped off of the guard's like loogie snot spit projectile, which apparently has collision, and you can just ride his snot up over the wall into the next area of the game, which you're not supposed to be able to get to this area of the hub until you collect like 3 or 4 keys. And now she's in the cannon and heading to the first boss. There's so much happening. There's so much to explain in the first world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was another series of super jumps where she positioned Sly behind the cannon, and the trigger to the first boss is in the cannon, which normally you need all 7 treasure keys to unlock the cannon. But if you get stuck back there and you do a series of super jumps into another stuck spot, then it kind of shoots Sly out of it, and you can go directly through the cannon, hit the boss trigger, fly to Raleigh.
Sly's hitbox is still active when you're being returned from super jumps, so it clips his hitbox into the cannon during that and just flies us backwards into the cannon.
Yeah, and then
is it all right if I cut in really quick with a quick update?
Okay,
go for it.
I just want to remind everyone we are 22% of the way there for that blindfolded Ruby fight. We really want to get that unlocked because we would love to see you blindfolded there, Alice at Wonderland Games. Make you do a boss fight without being able to see. So let's get those donations in to get that incentive up met.
Yes, please. It's a very, very cool fight to be blindfolded.
All I'm saying is it would be really fun to watch that. However, if y'all don't want to make me do that, no, y'all want to make me do that.
Yeah, we do. We do. So this Raleigh fight is basically a set of like 4 patterns that he does. She's gonna abuse in the water to lose her charm to put Raleigh in double load. Man, I can't. It's so much happening.
No, there's so much happening at 80% at any given time. Binoc double pauses are really weird. Basically, you can hide a pause menu underneath the Binocucom and then have another one on top of the Binocucom, so you can have 2 pause menus open at the same time. What I just did there is I abused that fact to use the charm and then load out of Raleigh with the charm that I already used. So this is the same one that we used in Raleigh, but it allowed us to just load back in with the charm because we had that sandwiched pause there.
Exactly, yeah. Now she has her charm back because she's going to need it for another trick later on. So this is Heatus. It's another instance of kind of a proxy getting stuck somewhere and getting flown out, except this time what you're getting stuck in between is a dog and a wall. And if you manage to get it just right, you can actually, the dog, which is named Cletus, can actually send you flying all the way to the key at the end of this level, which is pretty difficult to do. She did get a pretty good launch here, and then we just have to run to the end of the level, and she did get to pick up an extra charm because of the short launch, which will be helpful later.
Yeah, the getting all the way to the key is a 4-frame window, which is, not terrible. Speedrunners can fairly consistently do that, but adrenaline messes with that just a little bit.
Yeah, and we're going to skip getting the key here because we can actually just clip through the wall. We don't need the key. We don't collect a single key in World 2.
Yeah. Each key collection is about 6 seconds. That being said, y'all will actually see me in World 3. There's a way that you can pause out of collecting the keys as well. So we are going to avoid the key collection animations as much as possible.
Nice, so she was going for a pause storage there. Mugshot has dialogue that starts when you cross a certain area, and if you pause the game in the same few frames that he starts talking, it'll store your pause menu until he is done talking or you leave the area. And then what that does is when you get over here to clip into Mugshot, it would open your pause menu back up and you could, load it to kind of get your charm back. Because we're going to do a series of super jumps here. We set our position on the other side of the Mugshot trigger, and then you can just cut through there. And you lose your charm in the process.
Yep. We also are resetting the game every time I go into a boss fight because it's faster to reset the game than to listen to the boss's monologue about their, like, villainy. So,
Can we get a $5 donation hype train going for every reset?
Yes.
we also... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to remind everyone that when you're putting in those $5 hype train donations, don't forget to scroll down to the bottom and select the blindfolded ruby fight incentive. We really want to get that unlocked.
Yes, please.
Most of this fight is going to be as intended. They never fully explain why swinging all of these mirrors around damages Mugshot. The theory is that it heats up the gun that he's shooting at us and it damages him. I don't know, but for some reason we turn around all of these mirrors and it damages Mugshot. There is going to be a skip at the very end though. It's called Chandelier. Mugshot actually stands on a chandelier and we're supposed to go around and hit each one of the mirrors that's around him. However, it's possible for us to also stand on the same chandelier. So you'll see in a second a precise little jump to try to jump onto the same chandelier that Mugshot's standing on, and that will allow me to swing all of the mirrors a lot quicker.
Yeah, you can kind of just jump up to the platform that he's on in this final phase and just run around him and whack all the mirrors really quickly, which normally you're supposed to jump all the way around on the outside.
Oh, reset time. That's another $5 hype train, y'all. I'm just saying.
Let's get those donations in for that blindfolded ruby fight. Come on, y'all. We are 22% of the way there. I believe in you, Twitch chat. Let's get those donations in and unlock that incentive.
Let's go.
Okay, and just like that, Mugshot is down. We are done with 2 of the 5 worlds of this game. World 3 is actually going to be the only one of the first 4 worlds that we can't skip. The boss trigger for it is coded a little differently. If y'all saw, the Raleigh and the Mugshot trigger were both kind of in something that they didn't think we could get to. And then we found a way to clip through it, usually using super jumps or something along those lines, right? The Ruby trigger is not openly available in the hub world like those other ones are, so we actually still don't know how to skip World 3. That being said, if there's any glitch hunters among you that want to try it, it would be desperately appreciated by the entire community.
Yes.
But for now, we are just going to go ahead and collect all 7 of the keys in World 3 to try to continue on like normal. That right there is a weird little proxy. You get stuck in a very specific part of the van door, and it shoots you out, up and over here. And this level is kind of long and windy, but here we can just walk along the edge of the level all the way to the end.
Yeah, and the key is locked behind a voodoo magic barrier, which can only be opened by breaking all of these candles. And we have to collect every key in World 3, unfortunately, to open the trigger that lets us get to the final boss. So you'll actually get to see all of the levels played here.
Alright, I am about to go into Fish. It is a very infamous level. I agreed to try Fish Skip for a little bit, so if y'all want to give me your Fish Skip energy, you can throw your fish emotes in chat.
Yeah, this is considered the hardest, if not one of the hardest tricks in the entire game. There's this mini game where you are put in a vehicle and you have to run over a bunch of fish and light a bunch of torches. But there is a way to clip through the gate that takes you to the key, and the key is just sitting there on the other side of the gate. So what she's going to try to do is get herself set up in a specific position and just kind of slide back and forth and kind of clip through the gate to get to the key on the other side. And it's very finicky. It's a very hard trick, but we'll see if she
Yeah, you can see him trying.
You have a sec for a donation?
Go for it.
I've got a $5 donation from Cece who says, Blind Ruby Train. All right, let's get on that train, y'all. Buy your tickets for the Blindfolded Ruby Fight train so that we can unlock that Blindfolded Ruby Fight. We're 24% of the way there. Chat, I believe in you. You can do this. We also have a $25 donation from Citrus who says, absolutely love Sly Cooper. Bring on the Blindfolded Ruby Fight.
Let's bring it on. All right, so she
I
did
fell
her
off
fish
the
dip
edge
attempts.
there. Yeah, I went ahead and I just reset. We're gonna do fish like normal because I don't want to cost too much time. It is a brutally difficult and partially RNG trick. Considering it is partially RNG, we could theoretically get it the next attempt, or we could be here for 10 minutes. So I don't want to risk that too much time.
It can be very time consuming.
Big update, y'all. We are 41% of the way there to that Blindfolded Ruby Fight. Come on, chat.
Wow,
I believe in y'all.
that was
Let's go.
fast.
Huge jump. Let's go.
Yeah, we've still got quite a few levels until we get to the final boss, so there is time to get those donations in. And we do have time for a donation or two while she finishes this level.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've got a $100 donation from Anonymous. No comment on that, but that's part of that huge jump. Thank you so much for that. And a $250 donation from Anonymous. Again, no comment, but what a huge donation to Malala Fund and getting us towards that Blindfolded Ruby Fight incentive.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
That was one of the first of many. Oh, snake jump, yeah. That was one of the first of many key pauses. If you saw the second that's like grabs the key, it saves to our inventory, so we can just go ahead and pause and leave as soon as possible. It's not the tightest window. It's usually pretty consistent to grab them, but there is a little bit of a tight window to get that key pause in there.
Just saves a few seconds skipping Sly's, animation where he twirls around the key and puts it in his backpack. So she's gonna do a little cane jump here to get across, and we're gonna go out of bounds and run along here. And you can kind of just run along this wall and jump over to the end of the level where the key is. Perfect. And she got the pause storage here, which she's gonna use to view map out and then unpause and collect the key as she's mapping out to the hub world.
Okay, now we have Grave. This is one of the longer levels in World 3, but it's supposed to have several levels to it. Levels in the level. It's supposed to have several levels to it, up and down, and you're supposed to go along the entire bottom level and then climb to the top and go around the entire top level. That being said, we can do a little out-of-bounds jump here, and this basically skips the entire level.
Yeah, there's a lot of using out of bounds to skip like 80% of levels.
Ooh, come on. There we go.
Okay. You also do kind of have to worry about that mosquito there. He can snipe you as you're trying to get around. And the ghosts as well.
Okay, we're gonna do a little slope jump up and over this wall here. We do actually have all of the keys to go into the next area, but using the keys to open up the lock and play the animation and everything is a little too much. So we're just going to do a little slope jump to get out of bounds there and then drop into our next level rather than doing it in the intended way.
So this is chickens. There's no real skips or big optimizations here. You just kind of have to whack 50 chickens. There's a ghost flying around above holding a key that you can't see, and he wants some gumbo, and that's your lure for this level. And I guess we can do some donations while she's whacking chickens.
Absolutely. So we've got a $25 donation from Marissa. No comment on there, but we definitely appreciate that donation. We also have a $5 donation from YogKV. My ticket for the train. Also excited to be entered for the Pokemon Hurler prizes. Yeah, don't forget when you get those donations in, you are entered into the sweepstakes to get some of those incredible community donated prizes, including those amazing Pokemon Hurler keychains. We are so close, y'all. We are 41% of the way there to getting that blindfolded Ruby fight unlocked. So get those donations in. Be sure to check this incentive off at the bottom of the donate page.
One more chicken to go. Oh gosh.
Again.
Those roast
Here we
roosters
go.
are a little scary.
No, not even close. Not even close.
I also want to point out that we've opened up the, you can see the milestone progress for that Alan Wake 2 unlock that we're hoping for later in the day. Be sure to donate. All of your donates will automatically go towards that milestone. So when you're donating, you're getting us closer to that $27,000 milestone we're hoping to hit so that we can unlock Alan Wake 2.
Use the left analog stick to move.
And this level here is basically just one big auto-scroller. There's not much we can do to speed this up. There is like a weird trick that where you can like send yourself flying halfway through the level, but it's not consistent. You don't do that.
I was gonna try it like twice.
Oh, are you gonna go for it?
Yeah, it only costs like, what, 3-4 seconds to try it, so I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, it's another like proxy situation kind of. You're gonna get yourself stuck in what is it? It's like the save point, I believe.
Yep.
And then you kind of spin Sly around and hope that he just goes flying across the level. Right here.
One more try. Nope, not quite. That's very inconsistent, but it's also really funny when it works, so I wanted to just see if I could show that off really quick.
Yeah. I guess we could do some more donations if there are any, since it's just a big auto-scroller.
Yeah, I've got a $25 donation from Anonymous. No comment on that, but that's 5 tickets for the $5 hype train. Let's get that Ruby fight unlocked, you guys. Or y'all, let's make sure when you're donating at gamesdonequick.com/donate, scroll down to the bottom, select that blindfolded Ruby fight incentive, and we can see this incredible fight where Alice doesn't get to see. We also have a $25 donation from Nox. No comment there.
This is called Ghastly Voyage, and there is a fast strat that I can do here to try to abuse the hitbox of some of these pillars. Fun fact, Fast Ghastly Voyage is called Fastly. We're really creative in the Sly community.
Yeah, there's like a raised patch of ground behind the middle pillar that allows you to shoot the other 2 pillars above the gates that are guarding them. So this is the last level, I believe, before we get to Ms. Ruby.
Yep.
So last chance to get some of those donations in.
Yep, get those donations in. We're 41% of the way there. Chat, I believe in you. Let's do this.
Oh my God!
So she's gonna do another bone jump here, which is just kind of doing like an extended like grab kind of jump off of the pipe to get up here. And she's gonna do something called scuba skip, where you can kind of jump into the water and just kind of run under it for some reason.
The devs had a case of there's no way that they're going to get their itis. So basically, because when you drop down the rail that you're supposed to slide down there, and it had some weird interactions with the water, so they basically didn't code a hitbox for that part of the water because they were like, there's no way that they're going to get there. So we found a way to get there. And it just doesn't hurt you.
So just as a heads up, we have $859 remaining $859 remaining, excuse me, for that blindfolded Ruby fight, which means that if just 170, I think, of y'all, again, math not my strong suit, but just a few of you in chat, if you just put in for that $5 hype train, we could get this met easy. Let's do it.
I am currently in Ruby, going into it right now. So if y'all wanted to continue to try to fund that, I could go back for the boss afterwards and do it blindfolded again for y'all, but now would be the too late for the funding.
The cutoff point.
That being said, I can try to show y'all a really fun out of bounds as an alternative, because I cannot do this out of bounds blindfolded.
Yet. Yeah, this is kind of a newer strat to get out of bounds here. And there's a lot of like invisible platforms up here that we're going to use to jump around Ms. Ruby and actually skip the first phase of the fight and a lengthy cutscene where she talks about how we're going to play DDR and she's going to have her servant Chumley escort us over there. Chumley is the turtle that we're sitting on.
Yeah, the water there that I just landed in actually counts as a checkpoint. It is one of the rare, if not the only instances of a checkpoint not actually being a checkpoint. So when you land in this water, the game, it basically thinks, oh, you landed here, you must have already been on phase 2 of the fight, and it just places us here.
Right, and it's pretty much just a musical mini-game at this point where you have to press the right buttons in time. But you can actually just spam the buttons, the timing doesn't matter.
No, shh, don't tell them the secret. All of the Sly Runners just have really good rhythm.
Yes. So I guess we can do a donation or two while she gets up to Ms. Ruby.
Absolutely. I've got a $10 donation from Charaz, I believe is how that's pronounced. Love the Sly Cooper games and have played all the sequels. Lovely to get to see this one as well.
Hey, same. This is playing Sly with my friend is one of my first memories ever. I remember it took us forever to beat Clockwork and we were so proud and that just stuck in my brain. I think that was like a core memory that formed me as a gamer. So I'm really glad to be speedrunning it 20 years later.
Ms. Ruby has another phase after this one, but you can actually, if you spam square quick enough, you can actually double hit her and it counts as defeating her. So basically, she's gonna do a pause and just double hit Ruby while we load our file to get out. And we've beaten Ruby without even playing her final phase.
Yeah. The devs actually messed up coding her hitbox there. It doesn't disappear properly like it's supposed to. So you can just spam there and finish off the rest of her health bar.
She had to go grab that charm there because we need it for to do some tricks in World 4. We don't have to collect any keys in World 4. This is another instance of just rushing straight to the boss. And she's gonna do this little van proxy here where you kind of get yourself stuck in the van door, and she's gonna put her camera and just kind of jump in to the hole, and it'll like send you flying like straight up. And we just use that to get out of bounds.
This is a big chunk. One of the more precise proxies we do in the run.
Yes.
If you can tell by how precisely I'm trying to line up the camera angle here, it is really precise. But I got this for y'all, don't worry.
So yeah, it's kind of similar to the van proxy earlier, instead of we're trying to go up instead of out.
There we go.
All right. Now for the second part of this, which she's gonna set her position up here and then do a chain of super jumps out to a specific point. And then when Sly takes damage and the game tries to send him back to where he was standing, it'll send him flying way past and to the end of the level here.
There we go. And then the key is far over to our right. We're supposed to go down there and grab it and then come back. But once again, we can just do a little series of super jumps, clip through the door. I am going to do another, if you remember the double pause that I did for Raleigh, I'm going to do another one right here, and I'm going to reload that charm that we just had. And then I'm going to do a crazy slingshot. We actually just found this new version of World 4 Skip, so I'm excited to get to show it off for y'all.
Yes, this is the brand new way to get to Panda King.
Alice, quick question for you if you have a moment.
Of course.
are you able to do the blindfolded Ruby fight again, like at the end of your run as a...
Oh, yeah.
Potentially. Okay, fantastic. I just wanted to let everyone know then we're 43% of the way there towards seeing that little showcase. So we can still make it happen, even though we already fought Ruby. We can still get that blindfolded Ruby fight done.
Of course we can go back. It's a good time. Yeah, I guess we should explain what just happened.
Yeah, I'm really proud that I got that first try. That's pretty new, so I don't have a ton of practice on that yet, but I nailed it. You set your grounded position on that little roof that I jumped off of, and then it's a very precise jump out of bounds, hit a death plane, and you're so far away from your starting position that the game accidentally gives you too much speed and slingshots you past where you initially started, and it just launched me straight into Panda King's lair. And we call that trick a slingshot. Surprise!
There's a small optimization you can do with Panda King here, called Grim Panda. Basically, you hit him 10 times and he goes into a cowering state, and then you can kind of hit and jump into him. And so when he tries to bump you backwards, you can just get bumped right up if you press X. And you can just kind of get him stuck in a permanent cowering state and just keep whacking him until it's over. Just like that. And then in order to skip his, post-fight cutscene, as soon as we get the final hit on him, we just kind of map out to the hideout, and then we go to World 5.
Okay. We have one more big auto-scroller here. This is Hazardous Path. We are on a little turret on the top of the car, and we are going to escort our van with Bentley and Murray all the way into the next level, but we have to make sure that we are not hit by the robo creatures that Clockwork is going to send after us on the way.
Yeah, I guess if you don't know anything about this game, we kind of skip all the lore. So, like, you play as Sly, a raccoon who's an orphan. His parents were killed by the Fiendish Five, which are all the bosses that we're defeating. They stole our secret book of thieving. And you have two friends you grew up with in the orphanage, Bentley the Turtle and Murray the Hippo, who we unfortunately don't see in this speedrun. And, yeah, we're on our way to beat the final boss. And I guess we do have time for some donations as well.
Wonderful. I've got a $10 donation from Mr. Game and Shout who says, wait, why is HockeyBabbler telling me to donate toward fighting Ruby? I love Ruby. They're the best. Okay, Babs, I'll do it, but only because I want to make sure Ruby has the best possible chance. And we are talking about Ruby Heart here, right? No, we're talking about Ruby the Gator. So make sure to get those donations in. We are $701 out of $1,500 that we're hoping to raise to see that blindfolded Ruby fight showcase. So please get your donations in. Be sure to check off that incentive at the bottom of the page when you do.
Is she a crocodile or an alligator? I don't really know.
Oh, I think...
Is Ruby the alligator?
Alligator?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say, I think it's just alligators in the United States, and I thought she was in New Orleans. Am I wrong?
No,
she's in
Haiti, actually, but she does have a New Orleans accent.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay, see, I'm not
Very
up to
misleading.
date on my specific Sly Cooper lore here.
Fair.
And this game, this speed run doesn't really give me the opportunity to learn it.
No, fortunately.
I also have a $10 donation from Massive Lad Gaming, who says, little late to the party, but had to donate during my favorite PS2 game by my favorite streamer friends. Love both Alice and Cinder so much, and here's to more Sly on GDQ in the future. Now, Sly, please, no more fighting Alice while she beats the game.
Thanks, Massive. She's gonna go for a slug despawn there. Nice. So basically, she pushed that slug out of the barrier of this arena, so it's not gonna come and bother us anymore.
Yeah.
So now there's only gonna be 3 to contend with instead of 4.
The game likes to make you think that it's kind of spawning infinite fire slugs to contest with, but what's actually happening is there's only 4 spawned in, and then when you hit one, they crawl around the edge of the arena and then crawl back on. So we hit that one that's going to fly out the back wall, and it is, we call it a despawn. It's technically falling into an endless void of nothingness for all eternity, but despawn is kinder and less existential. So we despawned it, quote unquote. And now we only have to deal with free slugs, which makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah, and it just becomes a race of trying to get to 60 computers before they do. There's computers falling from the ceiling, and if we run over them with our van, then we get the code to unlock the door or something. I don't know how coding works.
Don't question the logic. Don't question it. How does crushing a computer under your van tire extract code from it? I don't know.
I just thought that's how it works.
Don't question the logic of Sly minigames. You will have a bad time.
Computer, there we go. If you get lucky and a computer falls right in front of the gate, it is possible to be so close to the gate that it opens when you collect the computer, and it skips this like Bentley dialogue here telling you that you did it.
All right, I think since I'm trying to showcase a lot of really fun tech, I'm gonna go for the really scary out of bounds here just once. We'll see if I can get it.
Ooh, so scary. It's very, very tight platforming right here to get around without, without getting caught by the turrets. And then you can kind of do
Bentley skip here. Bentley skip is crazy. When you go over there to try to save Carmelita, you're supposed to get kicked into a hacking minigame where Bentley has to hack the codes here in order to save Sly and Carmelita. However, hacking is really long, and you can just jump over the trigger to skip hacking entirely. Ignore the fact that we leave Carmelita there to die, because we didn't. She's right here. I don't know how she got out, but she's resourceful.
She freed herself.
Yeah, she doesn't need someone to rescue her.
She's a strong, independent fox cop lady thing.
Exactly.
And this is another just kind of auto-scroller where Sly is making his way up, and you're actually playing as Carmelita, just shooting the slugs in his way and other various obstacles to get up to a jetpack that she has stored. No, wait, that's the next level. This one is his cane.
Yeah. During the cutscene that we skipped, his cane was stolen, and he talks about how it's his family legacy, and then they decide to form a temporary truce to beat Clockwork. And the temporary truce also involves Sly getting a 5-second head start to escape once they beat Clockwork.
Nice job, Raccoon.
All right, second to the last level. This is the dramatic platforming finale.
We're officially halfway there to that blindfolded Ruby fight, by the way. I believe in y'all.
Let's keep going. There's still time. But yeah, so this whole tower is just slowly sinking. So you are timed to get up to the top. But we have a lot of little platforming skips we use to get up there very quickly so that it's not an issue. You go for the, There's another instance of cane jumping here where, you can jump to a higher pole that you're not supposed to be able to get to yet, which basically skips the second half of this entire level. And we're at the end.
There we go.
Final
Do
boss.
you go for the who do you think I am?
Of course she does. So the patterns where you shoot Clockwork are the same every time. So basically Carmelita is shooting like shots in his armor that allow you to hit him through. And it's always the same, like head, feet, tail, wing. The only RNG is the second phase, the patterns with which the purple rings get shot at you.
No, don't talk about the purple rings. If you talk about them, then they happen.
You know, I feel like it should happen.
No. There is a very small chance these rings that he's going to shoot at us have fully elastic collision, and there's a very small chance that it bounces off of one of the pieces of, like, I think it's one of the pieces
tower.
of his armor, or yeah, the tower. It's one of the pieces of the fallen tower in the lava, and it will bounce off and then slingshot and hit us in the back with no chance to dodge it. The community calls that purple rings. But if we talk about it, then it makes it happen. So don't
It's gonna
talk about
happen
it.
now. It's too late. You're gonna
No,
get
no, no,
purple
no, no.
ringed.
Can I bless this with a donation?
Yes.
Go for it.
Got a $100 donation from Kung Fu Fruit Cup, who says, blindfolded fight, please!
Please.
Thank you, Kung Fu.
Yeah, you just have to hope that you get a good purple ring pattern, because the parts of his body that you shoot at are the same, but where the rings shoot out at you are not. So far, so good. No purple ring.
I'm
And
also
then-
trying to shoot these early so I get all of the shots in immediately when his armor becomes vulnerable.
Right, yeah, because if you're not quick enough, it goes into another cycle.
And we have one final jump to end the run. One dramatic jump.
Now's your only chance, Sly.
Yeah, you're supposed to platform all around his body here while he's shooting purple beams at you. But you can actually do a jump here to that pipe way over there. Oh, she got caught on his tail. That can happen. That can happen.
That's RNG. That's not my fault.
No, that's random. Yeah, so we go through the fight again, but this time at least the little dialogue between them doesn't play, so that saves us some time. And we have more time to get those donations in as well for the really
Yeah.
blindfolded.
That is apparently
calculated.
Clockwork wanted you to get more time in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have just $649 remaining to get that unlocked. I believe in you, chat. Let's get this done.
Man, it'd be a shame if you got purple ringed and then we would have more time for donations.
You're really trying to manifest purple
Spare
rings.
the thought.
We can't talk about Purple Ring.
No, we can't. It'll happen if we do, so we should not talk about purple rings.
Definitely don't send in your donations mentioning the purple rings.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess we can do a donation or two while she's getting back to that final phase.
I've got a $25 donation from G Klein88, who says, I'm blind, so I had to donate for the blindfolded Ruby fight. Thank you, G Klein.
Oh, purple ring.
The purple ring missed me. We're
but
good.
It did
We're
happen.
good.
It happened. It exploded in the top left corner. I don't know if people noticed, but
This run is terrifying.
it really is. One last chunk of the wing, and then we're going to go into that jump again and hopefully not get caught on the RNG tail flailing around.
We also have a $5 donation from Tom Scott, who says, I am here in Ruby's Swamp, where a giant crocodile is getting ready to fight a raccoon, controlled by a blindfolded woman. I'm not really Tom Scott, I'm Garb.
So she got the clockwork jump, and we just whack his head, and that's it. That's time right there.
There we go.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that
we-
last
Now we
piece
have
of
our
this raccoon
beautiful
from
ending cuts. We have
Clockwork's
to. It's
We have to watch
tradition.
the-
You
of
always,
course.
Each member of the
you
Thievius
always have to
tribe,
watch the kiss on a PB and on a marathon run.
Panic King,
More time for
and finally
donation.
Clockwork. I'd beaten them all one by one and reclaimed my birthright. Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, but they stuck with me through it all.
So Carmelita and Sly had a conversation earlier, and they're like, all right,
It took
we
a
help
lot
each
of
other
guts for him
out.
to get out in the field
I'll give
with
you
me.
a 10-second head
I know
start
he
to
was
run
scared,
away.
But he's got more heart than anyone I've ever known. And thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris. A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends.
Yes, no, by all means. Yeah, the run
ever
is
forget the
over,
lovely
so cut us off
Carmelita?
anytime you need. It's just
Looks like we're not gonna be friends
tradition
anymore.
to watch the kiss because this is
Now
the
that Clockwork's death ray is out
5-second
of
head
commission,
start
we're back
that
to playing cops and robbers.
Carm promised him.
I thought for sure she was going to slap the handcuffs
Yeah,
on me.
thank
right
y'all so much for
then
the
and there.
GGs. I really, really appreciate
instead,
it.
she
Thank
was
you
true
so
to her
much
word
to Cinder
and
for
gave me that
commentating.
10-second
I
head
also
start.
really appreciate that. You helped me
10,
out a ton so I could just
9,
focus on the run.
7.
Thanks for having me.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
4,
been a good time.
3.
We've got our
2.
10-second head start going on here.
Yep.
And
1.
And I guess that's it for us. And I'm assuming the incentive didn't get met.
Not quite. No, we did raise $851 for Malala Fund, but we
But I
didn't
knew it
quite
wouldn't be
meet
long
the
before
incentive.
we'd see
Thank
each
you all
other
for
again.
donating, though.
Yeah, thank you all so
That's
much for
amazing
donating.
still, though.
Malala Fund is a fantastic organization, and I really appreciate y'all donating. Good luck to all the future runners, and I will see y'all later.
Thank you.